afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Behind Enemy Lines. Oh wow, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. This is I'm excited. Welcome to another episode. This is our Super Bowl edition, and much like the Super Bowl, there's only two of us playing today. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Brayden?
I'm feeling so much better. I mean, like honestly, like. First of all, a couple weeks ago, absolutely sick. Run out of town. Absolutely just dog days of winter get me going. You can still hear a little bit of congestion, so I apologize in advance for that. But, it was nasty. But I'll tell you, I'm feeling even much better because we don't have to deal with a stupid Eagles fan today, you know? It's
always
one
good.
thing. Oh, my gosh. It's one thing to deal with a fantastic and terrible Packers fan, but to add an Eagles fan into that, man, no, it's like I think I'm masochistic at this point because I keep coming back every week. Look, I'm gonna say real quick. I listened to y'all's episode a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, thoughts?
Look, I could have an entire episode talking about the absolute garbage takes that y'all had, and you know what? Actually. Fun fact, and I believe at this time probably Freddie's going to jump in here. That's what we're doing today. Freddie's going to listen to our episode and then jump in with some takes here. So as much as I love that it's just me and Josh, you guys are still going to get the ever so annoying Eagles fan. But you know what? We don't have to listen to that anyway.
Today.
Yeah, but look, I listened. Y'all are interesting without me. I feel like y'all flew too close to the sun. You didn't have a voice of reason to bring you down, you know?
Anything specific?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Hey, the Packers and the Bears. Yeah, I'll do a quick little rapid fire here. First, here's what I'll say. I think you were the biggest voice of reason in the duo. Freddie was going off on some wild tangents, man. And
he was.
Freddie, fight me on here. But for you, look, the Packers and the Bears are not the same. I'm just gonna say that. You said the Packers and the Bears are the same. They're not the same. You know why they're not the same? When the Bears got eliminated, and it's like, oh, we're in the same boat. You're not. You know why? The Bears have a first. That's why.
Do you know what we have instead of a first-round pick, though?
Yeah. Are you gonna say
Micah Parsons? We have Micah Parsons, right? So that's basically our first-round pick this year.
You know what they have? They have Caleb Williams. They have
54% Caleb Williams.
They have Kyle Manungai, Luther.
Six interception Caleb Williams in the playoffs.
Colston Loveland. They have Colston Loveland,
who finally turned. Look, I'm a Michigan guy. Colston Loveland took forever to turn it around. Okay, but we have Tucker Kraft. All right, we have Tucker Kraft.
If you tell me Tucker Kraft is equal to Colston Loveland, that's insane.
You're right. That's a ridiculous take, Brayden. He's way better. He's like when he was playing in the before he tore his ACL, he was talked about as one of the top 5 tight ends in the league. What are you talking about? Our offense ran through him.
You know who was also being talked about?
His yak is amazing.
You know who was also being talked about as a top 5 tight end in the league at the same time Tucker Kraft was? Jake Ferguson. I'll tell you right now, Jake Ferguson's not a top 5 tight end.
You're right, he's not. Do you know who is though?
Oh,
Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, okay.
Tucker Kraft.
And then I will say, Freddie. I'll go back at him. He did say that the Eagles would have beat the Bears in the playoffs because scoring 20 is not that hard. And literally we've had 50,000 conversations saying that scoring 20 is too much for the Eagles against good teams. So
that's true. No, I mean maybe they would have beat the Eagles, but again, my preferred scenario was that the Eagles just lose anyway, and that way the Bears and the 49ers just get to play separately, and then everyone's out for the division. It was Rams-Seahawks. That's exactly what I wanted in the NFC. That's
I agree with you. So what I will say too, because I took some notes. You saying that Chicago is like the worst team of the division historically. Is short-sighted, man. That's
no. Did I say historically? Because the worst team historically is the Lions.
Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chicago. You were like they have the worst out of that whole division. They have the worst history. No, that's Detroit.
Well,
man.
Okay, that's because I hate the Bears with a passion, and Chicago is a terrible, terrible, terrible city. I think like I have a friend in Chicago right now because they're there for a work trip, and she agrees with me. It is the worst city in America. It is frozen over. It's terrible. She's having the worst time in her life.
I'm gonna eat my words. I just had my meeting with Northwestern, so if I end up over there, if I end up over there, I'll eat my words. But I do have a friend that moved out there about half a year ago, and he's already moving back.
Yeah, no, but the Bears at least they have a Super Bowl, right? They have one at least, and the Lions and the Vikings they don't have even. I don't think they have an appearance. I can't remember, but I know the Lions are definitely the worst.
Yeah, I had a couple of other things I'm trying to say or trying to see. I honestly I don't think there was too much. I just felt like Freddie. Oh. What the heck was Freddie saying, man? Josh Allen. If Josh Allen. Oh wait. I want to get on this for a minute. If Josh Allen has, and by the way, if you're very confused listening right now, go back, listen to last week's episode or 2 weeks ago's episode, and then come back and listen to this. Josh Allen, man, given the tools, Josh Allen is way better than Jalen Hurts, and given the tools that Jalen Hurts has, oh my gosh, he'd probably have 2 Super Bowl rings at this point,
At least.
And
yeah.
Freddie's sitting there and going, "Oh man, no, like, okay, we'll play a game. Hey, would you rather have?" And granted, great year this year, so this is the hardest one off the rip. Would you rather have Saquon Barkley or James Cook? Probably right now, I'd probably want James Cook.
Probably right now, James Cook, yeah.
But you asked me last year, I'd say Saquon.
Easily.
Yeah. So, okay, so we can call that a wash of the last 2 years, because we'll use a 2-year sample here, right? Mm-hmm. Dawson Knox, or actually, it's not Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid or Dallas Goedert. I'd take Goddard.
If you want to call it a wash, that's fair, but I think Goddard is the better producer, easily.
I think so. I would say that Goddard. I think Dalton Kincaid has more upside, but he's been all potential his whole career.
Yeah, it's Kyle Pitts, just a step better,
Yeah, I mean, you're better than me. I was gonna say Troutman when everyone was trying to like pump him up back in the day, or Evan Ingram. Where it's like he'll have a couple of games, but honestly, I think Evan Ingram has probably done better than him.
Yeah, that was a 2018, 2019 season. He was really good on the Jags for a second there. So
yeah, and for half a game with the Giants. Yeah. Anyway, so you have you have that, and then you go in the wide receiver room, and it's complete runaway with the Eagles. Jahan Dotson is almost equivalent to Khalil Shakir, right?
Yeah, and Khalil Shakir is like their best receiver.
Exactly.
It's.
And then
it's
you
close.
ask me defense, it's Philly.
Easily.
You ask me O-line, it's Philly. And
yeah.
so, Freddie coming in here and saying that Josh Allen wouldn't do anything with put in the same situation with Jalen Hurts, absolute crap, absolute garbage.
I agree. I think he was trying to make a point where it's like, oh, Josh Allen lost this game. Like, it's all, and yes, I think he's over Josh Allen. He hates Josh Allen, I think, and Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
So passionately. And he hates that they get better recognition and they are held to a higher caliber and standard, and also they're always ranked above Jalen Hurts. And that's his, not Justin Herbert, but Josh Allen is, and that's his problem. He's like, Jalen Hurts is massive disrespect. Why is Josh Allen? That's his whole thing, right?
I know it's a beat a dead horse here, because I know you guys did talk about it at length. I've seen a lot of the narrative going around right now that Josh Allen does not get the, I guess, blame, hate, whatever from the media that he deserves, quote unquote, especially for losing that game. What I will say is, and I agree, you mentioned this a little bit, but it's like, it feels like that being the narrative that's been put out is the blame that he deserves. You know what I'm saying? It's like everyone's saying, "Oh, he's not getting the blame that he deserves." I'm like, "Well, you're having the conversation right now." Yes, it is. Fully. Everyone knows. He lost that game. So many turnovers. That's not but also he's the only reason why they're in that game to begin with. He's the only reason why they were in that game at the end of it. Right? It's like,
agreed.
So it's my thing of yes. I mean, what is that? There's a whole Spider-Man, Tom Holland thing where Iron Man comes in and saves him in that first movie, and takes the suit away and all that. And it's like, yeah, okay, so you saved all of these lives, but you also put all of these other lives in danger. Or even like if you want to go to like the Avengers in Age of Ultron, right? And it's like, hey, they hate him. They hate like Captain America and Genovia, right? For it's like, oh yeah, you saved us, but also you ended up killing like half the population inadvertently by accident, right? It's like you didn't save all of us type of beat, right? And I think that's the Josh Allen superhero kind of trying to do everything. It's like, hey, in trying to do so much, you hurt us, but at the same time, we would never be in the position for you to hurt us had you not been so good. So it's kind of in the place where I'm at, where I think. Yeah, I think Josh Allen's getting a little bit of a bad rap for one bad game. Now, granted, it was a bad game on the biggest stage of his career so far, because
easily
we know that they probably go in and honestly, they give the Patriots a run for their money at least. That being a snow game, you would have had the Drake May versus Josh Allen rushing bowl.
I think I would have taken the Bills. I think they would have beat the Patriots. Honestly, the way Drake May was performing and everything, I think. The Broncos, I think they just sucked worse,
Yeah. Well, and it would have been in New England, and so, but there was as you know, a snowstorm coming up here too. So
yeah, heavy.
You would have had, genuinely, you would have had. I think Drake May. He ended the game with it was like over 60 rushing yards.
More rushing yards than pass yards. Or actually, no, sorry, just under. It was like 86 yards passing and like 65 yards rushing, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you would have had Josh Allen with like 70 rushing yards. It
Probably.
would have been one of those rushing quarterback games. But
well, and then you're taking the better running back, and that's James Cook. And so I think, again, the Patriots or the Bills just have a better team for that kind of game, in my opinion, And so I just think they would have actually made a Super Bowl, frankly.
Yeah, and so yes, it's a bummer for him, but I don't count them out. At this point,
of course not.
The Chiefs are probably going to get back to what they were, a version of that.
Yeah, they'll be competitive.
I think this kind of moves it, and we'll talk about, because we'll talk about last week's games. But I do want to kind of go towards the Super Bowl first. So let's we'll go backwards. But I want to ask you. So with the Super Bowl, and I have an idea, but with the Super Bowl, do you, first of all, not who do you think's going to win? Not even really who do you want to win? But between the Seahawks and the Patriots, what is better for the NFL? A Seahawks Super Bowl win or the Patriots Super Bowl win?
What's better for the NFL? I think the NFL could argue the Patriots winning is better for the league, not because it's like, oh, they're back. If anything, the team that's winning is worse for the NFL. But what's better for the NFL is that they have a young, exciting new quarterback that gets to be Sam Darnold, great season, redeemed himself. We'll get into all that, but what's better for the NFL is that Drake May is now in the conversations with the Burrow, Mahomes, the Allen. He is the new one of the new face quarterbacks of the NFL, and that's what they would love, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I think it was you that said in our text conversations before, where it's like, if the Seahawks win, is Sam Darnold a top 5 quarterback in the league? No, and he won't be considered one. It's just it's a great story for the season. Mm-hmm. It's just when you go into next year and you're ranking quarterbacks generally, or for fantasy football, whatever you're ranking quarterbacks in, he might jump into a top 10 conversation if you want to. He's had a really solid season. He's played really well in these playoffs, and he's proven a lot. But he's just not going to be someone that's put on that pedestal. It's not because he's old or because he's just someone. He is a type of Geno Smith, reinvigorated his career. Almost Baker, but Baker just was able to do it earlier and faster, so it was more exciting. With Sam, we've just seen him fail so much on bigger stages
than Baker did really early, if that makes sense. You know, Baker kind of bounced around, had that great Rams game where he won, and then he was able to go to the Bucs and really like transform his career. Now he's held to that kind of standard and caliber, whereas we've seen Sam bounce around the league and also fail around the league, and he's finally succeeding here. You know?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's funny. They gotta study. There has to be like a 30 for 30 on that Carolina quarterback room where
crazy.
they had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, and and I mean, what I'll say is that like if the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, and even if not, at this point, Sam Darnold is swaggerless Baker Mayfield in my opinion.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He is a good quarterback. Kind of gives me. I don't know if you look at. I mean, here. Well, go for your point. Cause I'm gonna pull.
I was gonna
something
say,
up
is
real
he
quick.
not Kirk Cousins?
Well, and so that's kind of where I was going for. The last 10 Super Bowl matchups QBs, right? Is actually. I mean, it kind of tracks with where Sam Darnold versus Drake May is, right? So you have Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, as much as I might hate Jalen Hurts, he's on the more like, well, we'll say elite side. I'll put quotes around that. Okay.
Sure.
But then you go Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy's good, but we've seen with what Mac Jones, that's more of a system, right?
Of course.
You see Patrick
we saw
Mahomes,
it with
Jalen.
Jimmy G.
Yeah, right. So that's exactly where I'm going with that, right? Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. Again, we already talked about that. Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow. Both very good. Both very good. Joe Burrow, I hope, keeps moving up into that. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, but after that, you go Patrick Mahomes, Jimmy G. All right, one of those is not like the other.
Should have been Aaron Rodgers. Continue.
But right, Patrick Mahomes, Jimmy G. Tom Brady, Jared Goff. One of those is not like the other.
Yeah.
Nick Foles, Tom Brady. One of those not like the other.
Definitely not.
Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, and as much as I love Matt Ryan and I hope he gets to the Hall of Fame, again, we're in a conversation of I hope he gets to the Hall of Fame. One of those is not like the other.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, Cam Newton. Once again, Cam Newton in his prime, elite.
Super electric, but not the same.
One of those is not like the other. Yeah, and like you go down, even going down to Joe Flacco, Colin Kaepernick, you can argue that like Kaepernick's now granted it was for different reasons, but Kaepernick's like elite level. He was like benched before all this stuff happened too. Like now granted, he probably would have gone to another team and played really well. But like for the 49ers, he had been benched by good old Chip Kelly because Chip Kelly is awful. But like you look at like Joe Flacco at least was like he won a Super Bowl, right? It's like so I don't know. It's you look at these and you see that there is kind of a tendency of there being quarterbacks that, I mean, you can go all the way back to 2006, and that's the first Super Bowl I remember. You get Peyton Manning versus Rex Grossman for the Bears. Good old Rex Grossman. But all that being said, right, it's like you get these guys that, like, they are very good, but they're not necessarily right.
Hey,
I'm not
Brayden, we're having
necessarily
some
relying
technical
on these
difficulties
guys
right now.
getting
I don't know if
back
you're-
year
I don't know if you're
in
noticing
and
that.
year out. I am. I'm seeing that your image. Oh, it's back.
All right, yeah, you're back. Sorry, we might have to cut this out. You're just.
All right, I'm gonna repeat
I don't know if
that.
it's my end
Freddie,
or
you
your
might
end,
have
but
to.
you're freezing every once in a while right now. I don't know if.
As are you on my end.
Yeah, that's.
It says actual recording is higher quality. Freddie, you might have to pull this little part out.
Yeah. I don't know where we'll pick up from, but I don't know. We'll have to see what like.
I'll back up just half second.
Here, repeat the take, and then we might have to chop it. So I think you're good, though. I think we're good.
Okay, I think we're back.
Okay, go ahead.
So essentially there is a tendency of quarterbacks who are good and might make a Super Bowl multiple times, a la Brock Purdy, Jimmy G, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't necessarily say that, like, when these guys were doing that, no one was saying Jimmy G is a top 5 quarterback in the league.
No.
Everyone was saying, like, oh, that team is amazing. And so I agree with you. I think if Drake May wins, right, I say it like that. If the Patriots win, if Drake May wins, then they are He at least is a top 5 quarterback in the league, or he's in the conversation.
Yeah, he's on that cusp, right? But it secures his spot in like this is new and exciting.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, you have the Patriots, who I would argue going into next year would be Super Bowl favorites. I don't think if the Seahawks, now I say Super Bowl favorites in the odds books, right? I don't think if the Seahawks win that they're automatically Super Bowl favorites again. I think everyone's going to say that was a great run, and then that's it.
They do. Both of them suffer from fairly tough divisions, especially the Seahawks. So it's hard to say who will be favored, but the Patriots definitely have a better chance to be favored based on maybe their conference and who they're competing against, and their schedule doesn't seem to be as difficult as others next year, but it's not the easiest, right? So it's somewhere in the middle of the pack, I think.
Yeah, so what I'll say is, for the health of the league, I do still think, and I'm going to call this now, I think I want the Patriots to win. I think the Patriots win.
Wow.
But if they don't, you are going to see a major push to get Drake May a legitimate receiver, because Diggs is good.
He's good.
Booty's
He's not what
good.
he was.
No, and so I was talking to one of my coworkers at the bar I work at, and I was saying, I said, the Patriots don't really have a receiver. Like, Drake May's doing this with, granted, a wonderful running back in Travion Henderson, and Ramondre's kind of sticking around, but it's like, there's not
but
really...
the problem with them both is they're great when they're great, but if they're not that, then they're kind of awful.
Yeah, he has fantastic complementary pieces in the way that, there is no other star on that team. And he tried to tell me that Hunter Henry was a star. And I'm like, dude, Hunter Henry's good, but he's never had, more than 700 yards in a year. And so, yeah, you sit there and I'm like, look, the fact that he's gotten this far, you can say schedule, whatever. Look, people can complain about schedule all day. I'm not going to penalize a team for playing a schedule that they got.
No, they play who they play. I will say, though, you can objectively say that was the easiest schedule, and you look at the quarterbacks they faced all year, and then you look at who they faced in the playoffs. They had the best run a team could have because of the strength of schedule and then who their opponents were. I mean, they didn't have, no offense to the Jared Stidham here, but that's who they had to play against, and they only had to score 10 points to make it to the Super Bowl. It's not. I'm not going to say, it's your fault. It's not their fault. They played who they played. But objectively,
may I alter? May I offer you this though? Yes, they played mid to bottoming quarterbacks. However, and I say mid to bottoming. Obviously, Stidham. I'm thinking, Stroud and Herbert, right?
Yeah.
However, I will offer that they played possibly roughly, Chargers defense is up and down, but at least
the defenses
two toughest
he faced, yeah. But
so
that's when he started to struggle, and even past September, Drake May was putting up great numbers early season, but then teams started to adjust, and he kind of teetered off, and that's why Matthew Stafford, I think, will take the MVP home. But it's one of those things where it's like now teams are adjusting, and they're still winning, but he's not doing what he was doing. Right.
Oh, but here's what I'll say is I think any quarterback in this league struggles against those defenses.
That's
so
fair.
What I'll say, we look at Josh Allen against the Broncos. We look at Josh Allen against the Texans earlier in the year, right?
Sure.
I mean, you and I were together when he was having that awful game. And so what I will say, and going forward towards the Super Bowl, where once again they are facing literally a top 3 defense. So yeah, that
defense is good.
The top 3 defense back to back. I will say I think they're prepared for it because they've been Texans number 1 defense in the league, Broncos are number 2, and then Seahawks number 3. And so you're facing arguably the easiest matchup you've had in 3 matchups. Again, Freddie talks about in our itinerary. He talks about Drake May's playoff struggles. I'm not worried. I'm actually saying, you're going into this, game, and yes, they're going to have a lot of scheming done against you, but you're going to have a lot of scheming against them as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd agree with you on that point. I mean, yes to that, but your point about it being the easy, this might be the toughest one because what
You think they're tougher than the Texans' defense?
If you're talking about matchups in terms
I'm
of
talking
defenses,
pure defense. Pure defense.
Pure defense. I do think the Seahawks, they might be on par with the Texans. Like they're really, really good.
Oh, there's a top 3 echelon, like is a 3 and then a big gap before the next team. But
Yeah.
I will say they are probably the third of the 3.
I mean, you're really splitting hairs here. Regardless, even if so if you're only talking that side of the ball, sure, they can be more prepared offensively because they've been playing tougher defenses. Even though they haven't really scored well against these defenses, they are winning, right? So that is something that is happening. However, that defense the Patriots defense has not faced an offense like the Seahawks are going to produce. And that is where the matchup is really going to get told, and that's where the game lies, in my opinion, because it's Jackson Smith and Jigba, it's Rashid Shaheed, who's been amazing, it's Cooper Kupp, who's still solid, it's Kenneth Walker.
On another one right now.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's just, can the Patriots stop them? I don't know, because the Seahawks just offensively. I mean, you look at the game against the Rams. Sam Darnold threw for 350, 3 touchdowns. He had a 127 rating, and then I think JSN had over 150 yards. I mean, they were producing at an elite level. So much so that when the Rams on the other side of the ball produced very similar statistics, they still couldn't win.
Yeah.
That's a problem I have.
So I would agree with you. I think that's where that matchup's going to be like key. But I don't think... Here's what I'll say. Game comes down to the wire. I'm trusting Drake May over Sam Darnold still.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. But maybe that's just because I'm haunted.
But the weapons with Darnold are way better.
Agreed. Yeah.
And so I will say I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people think it's gonna be.
I think the line right now is 4.5.
I think it's gonna come down to, and maybe this is hopeful just because I want a good Super Bowl. I think it's gonna come down to, ironically enough, because this entire year's been about this, a 2-point conversion that goes up or down. I think it's going to come down to that. And granted, the final score might be a 9-point game or an 8-point game or whatever because of that. But I think in the fourth quarter, it's going to be close enough that someone's going to go for 2 to try to fix that, try to get ahead, and it's not going to go well, or it is going to go well. Speaking of that, Broncos implosion, man. I know we're jumping around a little bit. Broncos implosion, I get it. Like, you can't predict the weather. But by golly. Actually, no, you know what? You can. There are meteorologists. There are people that tell you it's going to snow. What am I saying? You can predict the weather. So take the bleeping points, brother. Oh, kick that field goal. You're in position to go up by 2 possessions. And I get it. Sean Payton is actually quoted for saying that they, every time you kick a field goal, it's a 4-point swing. In the way that, you're losing 4 points by not taking your touchdown. And you're losing, when you stop your opponent to a field goal, it's a 4-point swing and all that.
Yeah, not when you're up 7 points.
And now when you're up 7 points with Jarrett Stidham as quarterback, and you know that it's going to snow. Now, granted, could they probably have predicted that it was going to snow that much and alter the game that way? Probably not. But when you're already up 7 and you're going into a position to be up by 2 possessions regardless. 14-10 at that point in the game, I'm sorry, does not matter to me that much. Mm-hmm. If I can be up by 10 or be up by 14 in the second quarter and in the first quarter, it was early in the game. I want the 2-possession lead regardless. I'm not sweating over the fact of if it's 2 touchdowns or a field goal and a touchdown, because I know, okay, regardless, they cannot tie the game on one drive.
Of course, and Jarrett Stidham is going to have a Jarrett Stidham moment like he did, and they got the ball on the 15-yard line. You got to be strategic and smart. You are not in a position without your quarterback, Bo Nix, to run that kind of offense, in my opinion, because I hate when there's on the screen, this says to go now. Don't. Look at what you're actually doing on the field and who your personnel is. You cannot operate that way. I don't care what the statistics are. Sometimes it works, but when you're missing your starting quarterback, it's not a go situation. And I think that's it is the reason they lost, frankly. I think the final score was 10-7, right?
Yeah, yes, I believe, right? It's been so long at this point.
Yeah, it was 10-7. And I'm not saying that they definitely would have won, but you are talking about a massive swing that direction because all of a sudden it's just the game is operating differently when you're up 10-0, and it's one of those things where it's coaching. It's a coaching thing, and Sean Payton's had this kind of problem before in the playoffs, and
I mean he's your favorite coach ever, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. But no, it's why he makes me so upset, and why I root against him actively is because of the way he talks and his ego and his arrogance with it. And hey, and why they're fighting now in the whole locker room. I mean, Bo Nix had his own press conference. It's just problems in Denver after a great season.
I mean, I would not be surprised. They won't move on from Bo, but
no.
I would not be surprised if they draft a quarterback in the third round this year and call it injury insurance, whatever.
And that's not a bad idea because I think that quarterback, especially backup quarterback, is a commodity. And in a class where there's not a lot of quarterbacks, and you still might be able to get a decent one that falls all the way to the third round, it's a good idea.
Yeah, but there are going to be whispers after that where everyone's going to be like, "Oh man, maybe they move on. Maybe he's and if Bo Nix comes out slow." Off that injury, I honestly, you could be looking at a career killer right there, and only because of ego, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do think that if for some reason that happens, which I don't think it will, the trade market someone would take him. He's still way better than a lot of what's out there. Would the Vikings take a chance? A team like that where their quarterback situation is very fragile. Bo Nix is better.
I want the Vikings to get rid of 9-man and actually get a quarterback. I feel so bad for Jefferson. It's off topic, but here's what I'll say, and it goes back to the Drake May stuff. The better team won, in my opinion.
Agreed. The better team also for the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, I don't want to see Sam Darnold versus Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah,
no one wants to watch that.
And everyone can cite Nick Foles back in the day, but here's the thing: Nick Foles had a 5-touchdown day to his name before that. Nick Foles at one point was a starting quarterback for an entire season, for the Eagles, and he had some history to it, which is what made him so kind of lovable, right? It's like he had bounced around,
and he also had the run-up to it. Carson Wentz goes down, I think, week 17 or 18 or 16, one of those late weeks. Nick Foles was able to go through the whole playoffs. That's what made that run so magical. And Freddie's going to love this part, but it's what made that run so magical and why everyone was rooting for the Eagles, frankly. That was like America's team. They beat the Patriots. They beat Tom Brady. They beat the bad guy. The Eagles were the good guys in that situation because it was magical the way they had spared their season. Jarrett Stidham comes in for one game and then plays poorly but is able to win. It's not the same feeling.
No. I mean, I'll tell you, and again, Freddie's going to love this part. I was rooting for the Eagles in that Super Bowl.
Of course.
Yeah. I had a vice principal at the time that was absolutely the worst. Oh, my gosh. He was just like a terrible person. Literally just not a great guy. But at that same time, he made a deal with us. He's a big Patriots fan. He's like, there's no way that the Patriots lose to the Eagles. So it's like me, Brett, Gavin, we all made a deal with him where it's like, look, we'll I can't remember what we offered, but basically just like we'll clean something or whatever in the school if the Patriots win, but if the Eagles win, you have to wear our team was the Eagles. You have to wear the Eagle mascot You have to do the Fly Eagles Fly chant, and you have to, get us pizza for a week. And this man never made good on it. Never
Wow.
made good on it. Yeah.
Crazy.
Disappeared, left the school after that. What I will say is, and again, this goes to that Super Bowl. When you're running on the treadmill, okay, and you do your incline, and you bump that incline up to 8, and it's extremely, extremely tough, right? You kind of want to like break it up, right? So you kind of want to like scale it, right? You want to go like 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. The longer that you run on 8, yes, the more tired you are. But I would argue the more prepared you are to keep running on 8, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that is the equivalent of what Drake May is doing right now, where, yes, they face these tough defenses, but again, I think he's prepared for the Seahawks. I think he's been running for that. I'm not worried because this team has learned how to beat teams that have those tough defenses. I agree with you, though. Yes, that offense is going to be an issue. However, if you can make Sam Darnold make mistakes,
which is possible,
very possible, and Kenneth Walker has a fumbling history.
Sure.
If you make these guys, obviously he's on a tear right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's the Super Bowl MVP at the end of it. But if you
calling 2 tutties for Walker,
it might be 3.
Might be 3. Oh, what are the odds on that? What are the odds on that?
I would imagine
I gotta find
3. That. I would imagine a 3 is like a plus 15,000.
Let's see, because let's see. I mean, you can get 2+ touchdowns. I don't know if you can get 3.
You can get 3 if you're on DraftKings.
Oh, here it is. 3 touchdowns. All right, Kenneth Walker. It's only plus 1,000. What? What are we doing? Make it more.
See, they know.
That's crazy.
They know.
It should be way more than that.
It should be way more than that. Never do 3 touchdowns.
No, that's a terrible bet.
Do 3 touchdowns and the under on his yards, and you're great.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's been hitting a lot this year. Anyways, side note.
Sorry.
So all that being said, I would not be surprised if that goes that way. However, if they can force them to make mistakes, if the Patriots can stay in the game, the longer that they're in that game, the better I feel about them. And I do think like you're going to have the Seahawks kind of just like they need to run away with it. It needs to be a repeat of that Seahawks-Broncos Super Bowl all those years ago where they literally just were destroying Peyton Manning. That's what you need. Otherwise, I think the Patriots have a legitimate chance. Speaking of the Seahawks, how'd you feel about the Seahawks-Rams game, man?
Sorry, crazy to interrupt this way. Do you want to? I don't know if you saw this, and it's totally off topic, completely off topic. We'll get to there. Did you just see the NBA trade that just went down?
Yeah, the Vooch for Anthony.
Yes, Vooch in a second for Anthony.
And a second. So
and a second.
They just swapped seconds.
They just swapped seconds. That's cool. Anyway, back to Seahawks Rams.
By the way, we're filming this on Tuesday, February 3rd. The NBA has gone mad today.
I know.
Yeah,
JJJ got
side note. I'll tell you, Freddie's not going to interject on this part because Freddie doesn't know ball. But the the NBA is going crazy. Yeah, Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley traded. Who was it? Who else was traded? Jaren Jackson
got traded.
Yeah, I think you're about to get Ja to the Heat.
Ja to the Heat? Wow. Do you know what'd be crazy? I want to see where Giannis goes. We're completely off topic now, but that's crazy.
Grizzlies.
Oh yeah, he's gonna love that.
Well, it's where he's going. No, I mean, what? Didn't someone say that they freed up cap room just for him?
The Grizzlies did.
Who traded away Mike Conley?
That was
It's whoever had Mike Conley. That's what a report came out.
God, he's got to go to the Knicks, man. We'll get to basketball season, but please go to the Knicks.
Was it Minnesota? Minnesota.
Yeah, it's Minnesota.
So Minnesota.
That would be crazy.
It's okay. You're all
Giannis and Ant-Man. Whoa.
You're all gonna eat your words here, y'all. AD. Hear Hear me out. AD. So it's gonna be a 3-team trade. Klay Thompson goes to the Lakers. AD, Jared Vanderbilt, a first from Dallas, and let's throw Jaden Hardy, 2 firsts from Dallas and Jaden Hardy for Giannis.
It's not going to happen, but
Klay goes over to the Lakers.
Hey, that'd be fun.
I want
okay.
Giannis and Cooper Flag. Anyways,
Seahawks Rams.
Seahawks Rams. Yeah, let's go back to football.
Yeah. I kind of talked about it. It's just, first it was a great game. It never felt like anyone was truly out of it. And the Rams. Matthew Stafford almost put up 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 127 rating, and then Puka had 165 yards. Devontae had 89 yards. Everyone was just eating. Can I just say this on the Rams side of the ball? I know that Kyren Williams is obviously the guy. The late season emergence of Blake Corum, as a Michigan fan who has Blake Corum in a dynasty league and refuses to give him away, thank God Sean McVay is finally using him, because he had 55 yards rushing. He had 3 catches for 24 yards. This guy is such a good running back. He's a great complementary piece. In the first 2 years in the league, he refused to let him on the field, and it would frustrate me so much.
I think Kyron's also just he's turning into who he is.
And also, he's gotten hit so many times. He's getting beat and older. He needs a break, and so thank God Sean McVay's finally using Blake Corum. But on the other side of the ball, we've talked about the Seahawks defense or offense at length. I know Freddie wants anyone but Sam, the quarterback, to win the Super Bowl MVP, because he wants to prove that Jalen Hurts was obviously the best player on the team last year, and he won the MVP. It's not a quarterback award, even though you just look at it, it is frankly a quarterback award, the Super Bowl MVP. Award. Yeah. That being said, if anyone's going to do it this year, it could be Jackson Smith-Njigba. If he puts up another 120-plus yards and a touchdown, that's Cooper Kupp again, right? It's 10 receptions, it's 100-plus yards, it's a touchdown. He might get it. If anyone's going to get it, it would be him, and I can see it going that way. But the Seahawks, again, it was just too much for the Rams defense. And the Rams had a good defense all year, and it just... Yeah, wow,
Yeah, here's... Even to the very end, I had this just, faith that the Rams would pull it out. I kept waiting for that, and it never happened. The Seahawks... I am terrified. Their running game... Again, Kenneth Walker only had 62 yards. He only averaged 3 yards a carry. But he looked electric. Now, granted, he also had 4 catches, 49 yards on receiving, and he's not a receiving back. But again, you look at you would talk about people who put the team on their back, right? Yeah, Kenneth Walker had a good game. But oh my gosh, their second leading receiver, Rashid Shaheed, 1 catch, 51 yards, which that was a gorgeous catch.
It was a great catch.
Gorgeous catch.
But he impacts the game in so many different ways.
The movement.
His punt returning and the way a defense has to really watch out for him in the backfield. It's just, I don't know why they didn't use him running more because of the Charbonnet injury. He's just so quick on a jet sweep. He's great at that. So
but you look at
Cooper
that.
Kupp,
Cooper Kupp had a decent game, had a touchdown. Yeah. But you look at that, it's your second leading receiver has less than 100 yards more than your or has 100 yards less than your leading receiver. JSN turned it on. And on the vice versa, Puka Nacua did too on the other side.
They canceled each other out,
They really did. Puka had more yards, 1 less catch, had a touchdown. Puka was going crazy. If you did any live bets during the game on catches on this drive, you felt good. And I'll tell you, future Sydney Sweeney boyfriend Puka Nacua, who he shot his shot this week.
Yeah, he's going for it.
He's going for a lot. I'm starting to get a little worried. I'm not gonna lie about the Antonio Brown effect. Someone has to be him. Puka's having an interesting year. But all that being said, Stafford's going to be back. He's not retiring. The Rams are going to continue to be an issue. I would not be surprised they're going to load up. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they try to get a hold. I know this kills your Blake Corum theory, but if they try to get a hold of another running back, whether that's in free agency, whether that's a trade, whether that's the draft.
We'll see.
Just because I think Kyron's starting to fall apart a little bit.
A little bit.
End of year, of course, but like all year, he had those goal line issues. He was a terrible short running back, short and goal, right? He could not finish drives. He's great at getting touchdowns, but if you were in that moment where you had to make that push, he couldn't do it anymore. And so
it's fair.
And I don't know if Corum's great. Corum's electric. Corum is Tyler Algier to me.
He's a phenomenal secondary.
Exactly.
I think if anything, it's just like he is, and that's where I think he really excelled at the end of the season here. Kyron got a lot of the brunt work, but on third downs, that's where Blake really shined, and I think it makes him valuable to a team, and he's a great asset in that way.
Yeah, and I think if you go, I mean, they have Jarquez Hunter on the bench. Like, he's not going to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he's electric. He kind of gives me like Tank Bigsby vibes, where it's like he might have like, because if people don't remember, but Tank was awful his first year, and then like he barely played, and then so it's like he comes in his second year, maybe he gets a little bit of, like some run, but like it's not gonna be crazy. I would not be surprised, if they try to acquire a running back, because I will say that the free agent running backs this year are not bad. Like you have Travis Etienne. You have, if I'm not mistaken, is Kenneth Walker? Yeah, Kenneth Walker.
I think he's a free agent, yeah. I do think that
they're going to bring him back.
I think he's going to, like, it was questionable if he was going to be brought back or not before this year. I think the run he has had has secured him a contract in Seattle.
Sure.
Not maybe the one he wants, and that's going to be interesting to see if, like, he gets, which team offers him the most money. But if he wants to stay in Seattle, they will sign him.
Oh, yeah. Breece Hall is going to get franchise tagged. They're not going to let him go.
Well, I think Breece Hall, I don't know, man. He could get traded, too. I could see someone making a good offer for a Breece Hall, like someone like the Chiefs.
Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle feels actually like a Los Angeles Ram to me, where it's he goes in and he gets... So, like, you got guys... I mean, even, heck, Najee Harris, right? Like, coming in being a goal line guy. Like, someone to, like, complement... I just feel like Kyron might be moved off of, right? Like, Kenneth Gainwell, right? Like, you bring guys, like, in like that.
Sure.
And make it more of a committee. Now, granted, we've always been talking about committee backs for... Sean McVay's offense. He just doesn't do that. Like, this was probably one of the first games that we saw an actual even split. So, all that being said, I think Rams aren't done. I do feel good about the Seahawks. You got to feel bad if you're a Jets fan. I mean, you always feel bad if you're a Jets fan, but when you have your former franchise quarterback versus your division rival in the Super Bowl, like, that's got to suck.
I mean, the come up for Sam Darnold, just the way he bounced around, and being the first one in that draft class to make a Super Bowl, even though he was the third overall pick, I think, in that draft. It's just...
Oh, but don't you know he made the Super Bowl a while back? He was the backup for the 49ers.
Yeah. No, right, of course. Yeah, he I forgot about that, yeah.
So, and I feel for the Vikings, man. Like, I
don't.
Let go of... Well, of course you don't. But letting go of Darnold and then instantly goes to a Super Bowl with arguably worse options.
I mean, when you think about team construction... It's similar, you know? I mean, the coaching is a little better on the Seattle side of things, and that defense is clearly on just a different level. But offensively, if it's not better weapons, you're talking about Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, even though he's a mess, and Aaron Jones still has some stuff in the tank, and, Jordan Mason. So, yeah, they made a mistake.
So, I will say, this is not on our list, so you do not have to have full answers here.
Okay.
But we're talking about head coaching. All 10 vacancies have been filled.
Yes.
what is, in your opinion, kind of the sneakiest? Like, you obviously we can talk about Harbaugh, and we can talk about like Stefanski and all that. What do you think's the sneakiest kind of best hire? I mean, it can be, obviously it can be Harbaugh, but we already kind of talked about that. I would say something that's kind of under the radar. What would you say is probably the best hire? And then on the other end, what do you think is the who do you think might have the worst hire of this? Because you had 10 openings, man.
10 openings, yeah.
Almost a third of the league. Who do you think is may not last a year? I mean, obviously, hopefully everyone lasts a year.
Okay.
But who's getting fired first, and who's the sneakiest best hire?
Okay. Let's just address who's getting fired first. It's so clear who the worst coaching hire was this year, and it's Mike McCarthy.
There you go.
How does this man keep getting jobs in the NFL like this?
There you go.
The Pittsburgh Steelers completely botched it. You have so many great head coaching options, and and we can get into. I'm going to give it another year. The Rooney Rule's in place for a reason. That's a whole other conversation. You have so many great, especially black head coaches that could have gotten a job over Mike McCarthy.
Brian Flores would have been brilliant.
I mean, it's just you're in a field that is so hard to really like. It's. I'm gonna give another year. There's gonna be more openings, and hopefully teams just hire these coaches that are super available. But with all of the options you had, how does Mike McCarthy, on a team that has Aaron Rodgers, who might have come back had it not been for this? He's retired now. He's gone.
Rumors are saying that he might be coming back regardless.
Oh, no, man. I cannot imagine he wants to work with Mike again. That relationship was so... I mean, look, time makes the heart grow fonder, maybe, but it just... That is so obviously the worst one. I mean, Joe Brady was questionable considering everything, and we'll see about a couple of the other ones, like... Can Robert Saleh turn around the Titans? I don't know. That's just a tough position to be in. Cam Ward didn't look magical. Jeff Hafley's a question mark. I think Mike LaFleur he had a great season, and I love that. Now we have two brothers in the NFL head coaching. I think that's great, but he's also a question mark. Obviously, Mike McCarthy was the worst coach to hire. You're the Steelers. What are you doing?
Yeah, I do think what's kind of crazy for me is like. They should have hired Shula. Like, he's younger, more exciting, has like
so
a defensive mind. It's the Mike McCarthy hire. I laughed so hard at.
It makes me. You're gonna move off of him so quickly. For an organization that does not fire head coaches, they keep their head coaches around. You are clearly not in a win now position. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers is. Maybe coming back, but you need to basically reboot your franchise. You need a new coach and just a whole new mentality. You need to do what the Giants are doing, which is we finally got our young quarterback. We have some good offensive weapons. Our defense, maybe they'll step up. We have some really exciting players, and now we finally have the culture setter, Harbaugh. He's coming in, and that's what the Steelers needed. Instead, they're like, oh no, we're gonna get the coach that we're gonna move off of in a year or two.
So who's the sneakiest best hire? Who do you think?
Sneakiest best hire? It's really hard to say because a lot of these teams' quarterback situations really in flux. I think Kevin Stefanski with the Falcons could be really good, but that quarterback situation is just really questionable. I don't think John Harbaugh is a sneaky hire, so I'm not going to say that. I think, I'd love to say Jeff Hafley just because I think he's done a great job on the Packers, but I think that team's a bit of a mess too, so I don't know how good they're going to be. Honestly, and it's going to really depend. And then this is why I keep bringing up quarterbacks. I think Mike LaFleur will be the sneakiest hire because if they can find a quarterback that they like in the draft, or if that they maybe there's a stopgap piece for him to then get a quarterback next year and re-roll because next year's quarterback class is going to be significantly better. Like, what if they go get? What if they're so bad and they get an Arch Manning? The pieces he could build around McBride and Harrison, he knows how to run an offense. I don't know who their DC is, but if he can just draft well, I think he has potential to build a really good team that can sustain itself. And I think that might be the sneakiest hire. So yeah, what about you? I mean, Jesse Minter stepping into a situation that is so good for him, but what about you? What are your answers on this?
So I would say, like, yeah, Jesse Minter's it's a phenomenal. I do think like it feels a little repetitive. Like I don't know. Like it feels like it could be good. I'm not like super excited about it. I will say if you're not counting the Mike McCarthy hire, Robert Saleh just loves making it difficult on himself and
Man.
and he brought Dable in too, and it's just like it's the New York rejects over in Tennessee, and I don't know if that's good. Speaking of just like the Jets are a mess right now. They fired like so many people except their head coach. Like I feel like whoever.
Well, he deserves. I think he deserves another year. What are you gonna do?
Well, the issue is like with them firing their OC, it does kind of feel like he might be hiring his interim head coach.
Yeah.
Like, which kind of sucks. Like, puts him in a position where it's like, oh, now you're hiring a guy that's like might be taking my job halfway through the season if we start 0-6.
Yeah, we'll really have to see.
Yeah, but I would say, I want to say, I really like Clint Kubiak. And I think, with the Raiders, they actually, if they can get a wide receiver, they actually have like some decent options on that offense. It could be really, really fun to watch with Bowers.
Yeah, and I think Mendoza is going to be. He's not going to set the world on fire, but watching him in the national championship game and throughout the year in the playoffs, it's just he has a lot of just intangible qualities that people are going to love, and he is just going to be a great leader. And I think you're right on that. The Raiders could get sneaky good. That's a hard division to be in.
Very. But I would say.
Do you think there's any tampering that maybe would involve? Do you think they're going to lose anything? I mean,
no.
It seems clean to me, but you know what I mean. Just with
everyone
the Seahawks
feels
being
so
in the Super
bad
Bowl.
for the. Everyone feels so bad for the Raiders, man. Like, and the Raiders love hiring former Seattle coaches, so.
True.
Maybe this is the re-roll on Pete Carroll. But all that being said, it's not a coaching job that anybody wanted. It is I do think Todd Monken going to the Browns is actually going to be sneaky good. I don't know if he survives that job because the Browns are cursed. But I will say, I think he's going to put them in a position that makes them actually interesting to watch. My issue is if they are, and I know Freddie's going to come back and bite this one, if they are handcuffed to Shedeur Sanders with him, I don't know how well it's going to go. But I like the hire. I just wish, I do think that, because he knows the division. He knows how tough it is to get out of there. But with the division kind of low-key in shambles right now.
Yeah, I mean, you really only have the Bengals who seem competitive. I mean, the Ravens are going to be in there too, but it's not a lock for any of them.
The best thing that the Browns could do is trade. Again, I want Shedeur to do well, but trade him and get maybe like a 4th-round pick back or a 5th-round pick back in return for taking on the contract, and you'd have to cut Deshaun Watson, but taking on the contract of Kyler Murray. Because if you did that, if you were able to, and you send Shedeur over to Arizona to compete with whoever, whether they draft or whether they keep Jacoby Brissett and they have a tandem battling for that quarterback. Yeah, right. You have him compete with whoever's going over there. Then you bring Kyler over, and you have Todd Monken, who has run that Baltimore Ravens offense, and you bring over Kyler to kind of be a Lamar let's see what we can turn him into. Let's see if we can turn him into a rushing first. We don't have to rely on your arm. Let's really just feed off that electricity.
And he's got a good arm.
And he's got a decent arm, right? So it's if you can do that with Todd Monken, I could see them competing, and not only competing, I could see them winning that division in a division that's currently kind of in shambles, and with that defense being where it's at. I could see them really putting a run for it and him winning Coach of the Year. Again, sneaky, bold move, or a bold kind of take on there. But like, I'm not 100% kind of against that, and I've seen him listed as one of the worst hires on
I don't think
kind
he's
of
one of
the
the
list.
worst hires.
That's how USA Today ranked him as the worst hire that they did.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Browns want to get out of what they are, and they want to be taken seriously so bad. But they always have this one aspect that is the reason they cannot do it. And right now,
Quarterback.
Right, I was gonna say right now it feels like Shador. You know, they had the quarterback, but then it
Always
was the coach.
quarterback.
Well, no, they had Baker Mayfield. Their biggest mistake was letting him go, and I just think, I think, first, I hope Shador succeeds. I hope he does well wherever he goes. Good for him. Why is he in the Pro Bowl? I mean, besides views, why is he a Pro Bowl quarterback? No one? You couldn't find anyone better? Did they all say no?
Did I? I can't remember if I told you about this. So, if you go through the history of the Browns in 1 year at quarterback, and Joe Flacco made the Pro Bowl as well. So now it gets even crazier. The Browns in 1 year at quarterback signed a Pro Bowler away from a division rival, which was, Tyler Huntley.
Yep.
Signed a Super Bowl champion quarterback and Pro Bowler, Joe Flacco. Traded away a Super Bowl champion, Kenny Pickett. Cut a Pro Bowler, Tyler Huntley. Drafted a Pro Bowler, Shador Sanders.
This is stupid.
And has a Pro Bowler, and then and traded away said Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion Joe Flacco, and has had a Pro Bowler in the reserves all year as well in Deshaun Watson. You would think that their quarterback room is the best quarterback room ever, and oh my gosh, yeah, it's like the worst list of like deserving quarterbacks ever. Where it's like, Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley, Pro Bowler Shador Sanders, Pro Bowler, first Pro Bowl ever, by the way, for Joe Flacco, but Pro Bowler Joe Flacco, who started maybe 8 games this year for 2 teams. Just absolutely abysmal.
What is the Pro Bowl this year? Why are we watching it? No one's watching
I'm not. No one's going to watch it.
No one's watching it.
Yeah, I'll get. What day is the Pro Bowl on this year? Don't look it up. Tell me.
Is it not this Sunday?
Well,
no,
this Sunday is the Super Bowl.
Oh, wait. Did it happen last weekend? Did it already happen?
My point exactly. Tuesday. It's tonight.
Oh,
it's
tonight.
My point exactly. The Pro Bowl doesn't matter, man. The Pro Bowl is a joke.
I had no idea.
The fact that the Pro Bowl is tonight.
Dude, I'll be watching basketball.
What are we doing? What are we doing, man? It needs to be. My buddy brought up this. Idea that it needs to be basically practice squad players. So if you've been activated for 2 games, that's fine. But then 3 games, your eligibility's done. But practice squad players, the best of. So each team sends 2 representatives, and you play for essentially half your earnings of the year. So the winner gets that. And then the loser, and here's the key, the loser has to be backup dancers for whoever performs at the Super Bowl.
Okay, sure, make it fun, make it cool, whatever.
Yeah, really, really playing for it. I think that'd be great, right? So each team sends 2 reps from the practice squad. You also, it kind of turns into the Rising Stars Challenge in the NBA.
Partner with the UFL and make it a UFL thing. I don't know. Winner gets to get a spot on the worst team in the league. Whatever.
They try to make it this big gauntlet of fun things, and it's
it's not working.
It's not working, and the original Pro Bowl wasn't working either. No one wants to get hurt.
Of course. It's not for anything.
It's not for anything. It feels like
that's why it's flag football.
It feels like at this point you just need to make it, because basically it's an All-American list voted on by the fans.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then if you want to do a little event for it, just bring them out and do a little interview session, and that's it. I don't know. Yeah. Of course it could be fun. I don't but like I will say, it's already brought one of the best Cowboys videos ever, which is George Pickens right next to Micah Parsons, getting interviewed. I don't know if you saw that, but getting interviewed, and the interviewer was like, "Hey, so do you think Jerry's come out and said that you're going to get Micah's money, because they didn't sign Micah with that?" And he's like, "What do you think about that?" And George Pickens, without looking at Micah Parsons, goes, "Yeah, that's probably all of it. Probably about right." And then in the middle of that interview, CeeDee Lamb comes in a frame, looks right at the camera, goes, and then walks past, and Micah just starts laughing. And that's what I want from the Pro Bowl. I don't need to watch the game. That's it. Like
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Just bring them all in together. I mean, honestly, shoot like a reality TV series for a week or something. I don't know. Like, it's put them all in a house and have them compete for like Survivor style or something for like $5 million.
Why not?
That would be fun, honestly.
That'd be great.
An NFL Survivor for 1 week, for $5 million based off of Pro Bowl votes.
And then the games in the regular season get so much more interesting. Oh wow, this person backstabbed me, and there's the reason they voted me. It's personal now. You're hitting harder for a reason.
I think we just solved the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's what we did. Survivor Pro Bowl Challenge.
Yep.
I'm going to make a call to Jeff Probst and CBS and let him know, hey, you guys, you have the AFC. Let's figure this out.
I think that's it. I genuinely think that would be interesting. I'm having a blast.
Anything is more interesting than what it is currently.
And it's live. Like, that'd be great. A week. Just a whole week of live Survivor.
It's all streamed. Everything is streamed.
Yeah.
24/7.
24/7.
That'd be great.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
So beyond that, let's go to the Super Bowl. Then we got one last thing to talk about. So Super Bowl.
Well, you made your pick, I think, right?
I think
Let's
I did.
make it official.
I'm gonna say official. Patriots, and I'll even call the score. Patriots. 30-29.
Patriots 30-29.
A weird score.
So
a weird score. Yeah, and you know what that means, right? So it's Seahawks kick one field goal, try to go for it on two. Try to go for two.
Yeah.
Miss it again. Well, miss it at the 1 yard line. And they run this time, and he gets stopped. And yeah, Patriots 30-29.
Weird score.
Weird score. A lot of field goals by the Patriots. Andres Borigalis, or whatever his name is kicks the most. I love him so much. He kicks absolute ducks, but they go through, and they're fantastic.
So you can't get Patriots for half a point, but you can get them basically for the money line. Actually, the money line's better if you have the Patriots winning. It's plus 195. If you want them to win by 2, it's only plus 192. Weird.
Nope, I'm calling by 1. But I will say, the funniest thing that you should look at is if you call exact score.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm trying to find where to do that. There is a way.
30-29.
Yeah, there is a way to do that. Oh crap! What is this? Freddie, feel free to edit out this little.
Just speed it up while we're finding
5
lines.
years later. 1 minute. Alt lines, squares, final result. Well, that's just squares.
Yeah, I don't know how you can get final result. Regardless, I think that I'm sure if you search up exact score, you can find it. That would be probably some of the longest odds because it's almost impossible. So you pick the Patriots.
I'm gonna pick Patriots. Freddie's gonna interject here, but Freddie does pick.
He picks the Seahawks.
Freddie picks the Hawks. He didn't give us a score, but he does pick the Hawks.
He didn't give us a score, but my assumption is Freddie is Seahawks, and then your Super Bowl MVP is JSN because that is his narrative. That's what he wants all year.
Super Bowl MVP is gonna be Drake May.
I figured as much. If the Patriots win, it's Drake May's Super Bowl MVP because it is a quarterback award. Let's make that very clear.
Yep.
It is a quarterback award. And whenever it's not a quarterback award, it's because a wide receiver had an incredible game. And those are the only exceptions.
Oh,
Okay.
By the way, 30-29. It locked it. It doesn't let you. Like, look at this. Look at that. there.
You
So
can't even.
if you go 30 to 28, oh, a minute. Oh yeah, 30 to 27 has odds. 30 to 29 will not.
That's fine.
It's like, hey, dude, no,
It's way too improbable to even give you a line on.
we're okay. We don't need
What is
that.
30 to 27? What does that look like?
30 to 27 is.
Because that was I think the score of the
plus
Rams Seahawks was
8,000.
30.
So you put a $10 bet, you get 810.
Yeah, I mean, because Seahawks Rams ended up being 31-27, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you did 31-27, oh wow, that's plus 18,000.
Wow. Hey,
10 for 1,800.
just saying, it's possible. It happened. All right, so I'm gonna lock it in now, and ever since the Packers have been out, my entire playoff watch has been a hate watch. It's just to watch the teams I hate and the fans of teams I know, like, Freddie's Eagles. I watch the Eagles play, and the Bears, I hate them. And I know fans of the 49ers. I know fans of the Bills. I know fans of the Patriots. That one's not working out super well right now. But basically, all the teams that I've wanted to lose have lost, except the Patriots. They're the only team. I've been hate watching successfully this entire playoffs. And so for my narrative to have a bookend story, this is Josh's playoffs in a perfect picture. I need the Seahawks to win. I can't have the people. One of my biggest enemies is Brian.
Oh, Brian.
No one knows Brian, but Brian's listening, and he's a Patriots fan. And if the Patriots win, I can't have it. So I need the Seahawks to win. Even better than that, I need Sam Darnold to win the MVP, because then Freddie's upset as well. The reason I am wanting it to happen the way it's going to happen this way is so everybody's mad.
Which would you rather have? Would you rather have a quarterback win Super Bowl MVP, Drake May, or the Patriots to lose?
What?
No, would you rather have?
Say that again.
Would you rather have the Patriots win and Drake May win Super Bowl MVP?
Okay.
Or the Seahawks win, but it's not Sam Darnold winning Super Bowl MVP?
Oh, okay. There we go. That's tough. I would still probably pick the Seahawks, because at the very least, what I could attempt to argue is why Sam Darnold didn't win the MVP. And I said it before, and I'm going to repeat it. The only reason he doesn't is because a wide receiver or someone has just an incredible game. JSN puts up 200 yards. It's just impossible not to give it to him, right?
Tell me DeMarcus Lawrence isn't going to win Super Bowl MVP? What the heck?
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, it's like there has to be some impossible thing where Freddie can't look at it and go, see, it's not a quarterback award, and we can't. If JSN only has 80 yards and a touchdown for 7 catches and wins MVP, then Freddie's argument stands. But if JSN does something just phenomenal, something historic, it's just, then Freddie's point is at least invalid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's what I'll say.
My pick is the Seahawks.
I don't think there's a bag. I think this is one of the first Super Bowls in my opinion. And granted, people have gotten mad at me for saying this. I don't think there's a bad guy in this Super Bowl. Like, I don't think there's a team that I'm like, oh, I need to see them lose. Like, yes, no. Patriots, but these are not the same Patriots of old. Like, this is a completely new team. And they're, in my opinion, they're likable.
They're likable, but you got to remember the franchise, the fan base you're dealing with here. Okay, one, they're Boston fans.
Yeah.
And two, it is not that they're going to be like, oh my God, look, we won a Super Bowl, and it's been the first time in forever. It's been the first time since, 2018?
Well, it's same thing with the Seahawks, though. Like, Seahawks won.
Yeah, but the Seahawks didn't have a dynasty the way the Patriots did, and all the Patriots fans are going to talk about is how they are now back. It's going to be Eagles talk from last year. Oh, we're a new dynasty. We're going to be competitive. How many times did you hear Freddie this year say that the Eagles were the new dynasty in the NFL? They were the new Chiefs.
Here's what I'll say.
Because that's what's going to happen. They'll say they have their new young quarterback.
Oh, sure, but I think it pushes the NFL forward more.
Sure.
If the Patriots win, because you have Drake May now moved firmly into the upper echelon
but
of
the NFL's exciting anyway.
Oh, sure.
No one's not watching football. The ratings aren't down. Who cares?
Sure, but I will say I think it's better for football. I also, as a Cowboys fan, I love DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't want him to win one in the first year he leaves us.
Sure.
Where like he left, I remember everyone clowned him. He left. He was like, I'm going to the Seahawks to win a Super Bowl, and everyone was like, you're going to the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. Okay, and like I don't know if you've seen the Des Bryant text messages with him, where he was like, dude, what the heck? Why are you leaving Dallas? And he was like, I'm gonna go win a bowl, and he was like, no, you're not. Like that's not with and he actually said, he's like, I don't trust Sam Darnold in it. And DeMarcus Lawrence came back and said, no, Sam Darnold's like, I trust him. That guy's a G. He's consistent. He's going to do it. And Dez came out and said, he was like, I'm going to buy you a Rolex. Like, sorry for not believing in you. I'm not believing in you right now. I will buy you a Rolex if you guys make it to the Super Bowl. And so those texts came out, like Dez screenshotted that and put it out and was like, I owe my man a Rolex. Like, this is crazy. And
speaking of Dez, he didn't catch it.
Hey, by the way, actually, no. You know what? He did. I listened to the pod. And as you described that catch last week,
Dez didn't catch it, Brayden.
It's exactly what you said, is that Dez caught it. And I have receipts off of exactly what
I
you
said. Dez caught it. I said
no,
Dez.
but the way that you described the catch of what you called a catch and what you didn't call a catch is exactly what Dez did, is what you called a catch. I have receipts. I will find and play that for you every time I see you, because oh my gosh. So are you're calling Seahawks? What are you calling them?
Yeah, and here's what I will say though. It's this might be the Seahawks' only chance in their Sam Darnold era to win a Super Bowl. If they don't win it this year, I don't think they can get back. I think it's just too competitive. And they can be in the race. They can be in the playoffs in the running. I just think that the NFC is so volatile in its competition. And we see teams... The Eagles are really the only ones who have been repetitive in that way as of recent history. And so I just think that the 49ers, the Rams, and I'll say the Cardinals, but really just the 49ers and Rams in their own division is going to be hard, and then all the teams around them is going to be difficult. Whereas the Patriots, they only have the Bills in their division, so they can make the playoffs. Not consistently every year, but they're going to start being like almost locks to make the playoffs in everyone's picks every year. And they're going to be able to find ways and paths to get there with Drake May, especially if they start supporting him and get him those receivers. And so I just think that if it's not the Seahawks this year, then that franchise is going to have a while before they even think about sniffing a Super Bowl again.
I mean, here's what I'll say. Do you believe in Sam Darnold?
I believe that Sam Darnold has completely turned his career around and has earned the right to be a starter in the NFL.
Okay.
I do not believe Sam Darnold is the caliber of quarterback that can get you to the Super Bowl biannually. Every other year. He can't. He's not going to do that. He's just not that guy. Now, you've supported Sam Darnold, and you have the team around him that's going to support him, and that's not going away. But it's in the same way that the Vikings would make the playoffs with Kirk Cousins, or it's that kind of mentality of you're going to be competitive. You might make the playoffs. You might win a playoff game or two. You cannot do this again.
So, all right, because the reason why I say it was like,
and it won't be his fault every time they lose either. I don't think he's like. I think he's erased that. Before it was, Sam Darnold, he can't compete. Sam Darnold, lights are brightest, he can't do it. He still might be able to perform. They just won't be able to win every time like this.
I will say it's like, because the reason why I say that is he is firmly at the beginning, if you want to talk age-wise, of his prime. Like,
sure,
he feels a lot older than... He's 28.
Yeah.
He's a year younger than Josh Allen.
Well, he feels older because he's just been pushed around the league.
Yep. Only a year older than Jordan Love. Yeah. Only a year older than Jalen Hurts. Only a year older than Justin Herbert. Like, he's firmly in there. I mean, you want to talk about only a year older. Only 2 years older than Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy. Only 3 years older than
He's certainly young, and I don't think his career's over, right? Like, look at, like, quarterbacks like Jameis Winston, who have had long careers in this league so far and still will continue to play. I'm not saying that Sam Darnold's going to be a backup anytime soon, but what I'm saying is that he's going to be able to be in the NFL for the rest of his career as long as he wants to be. Maybe not always as a starter, especially towards the back half. I just wonder if I don't want to say he's like, oh, consistency. Is he going to do this again? I think he's proven that he can do this now, and when he has the right coaching and support around him, he's good. I just think that it's too competitive for him to be talked about in a way that's like, oh yeah, no, the Seahawks can definitely win one next year, if not this year.
You know who he feels like career-wise? Again, not career, but where he is right now.
Sure.
And where I could see him going for the rest of his career. He's kind of, and Super Bowl champion, Joe Flacco.
Sure, 100%.
Where it's like, again, there were questions, and I don't remember, I don't know if you were following this back when these questions were getting floated over and over and over. Is Joe Flacco elite? Like, that was the biggest, like, debate. And, of course, that kind of sounds silly right now. But for as long as he was in Baltimore, before Lamar Jackson got there, that was the question everyone was asking. Is Joe Flacco elite? Well, he bought he won a Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, but that defense was great. Oh, yeah, but he had good weapons. Yeah, but he did win a Super Bowl. Oh, his stats look good. Oh, like, is he elite? He will make you the playoffs. Can he win you multiple Super Bowls? I don't know. But the fact that he's there, yeah, I mean, I would see it. Drake May is the youngest quarterback in all of the playoffs this year at 23. And so he will have multiple chances. Again, it's not even a youth thing. It's more of just a growth and getting into your prime.
And he's going to be better, and they're going to build. And so I think, I agree with you in that, like, Sam Darnold is now firmly in this position of, I am a starting quarterback in this league. Anybody would pay to have me, and the Seahawks are not going to get rid of me because that would be ridiculous. You know what I mean?
He does have some opt-outs in his contract this year that I imagine he'll take in the offseason to just boost his... Like, he's going to sign a chunky deal.
I imagine the Seahawks, especially if he wins the Super Bowl, are going to offer him, I don't want to say the top quarterback money. He's not going to make around that, 40, 50, 45 million annual. I just think they're going to treat him well. They're going to be like, hey, $40 million, maybe $40 million a year, especially if he wins the Super Bowl. And it's going to be maybe a 3-4 year contract, depending on what he's more comfortable with. If I'm Sam Darnold, I'd probably take a 4-year. Just take the longer deal. Who knows what happens in 4 years from now? But it's like, I think that he has firmly like planted himself in this almost Baker Mayfield position of, you're not getting rid of me. You're not going to be bad enough to move on from me. But you're also not going to win with me the way we have this year every year. We are going to compete. We're going to be in games. I am not going to lose games. I might lose a couple games, but you can trust that I know your system, and the coach likes him, and the players like him, and, So, again, I just think, sure, for the league, maybe, Drake May is more exciting. For a franchise, it's the Seahawks, because I just don't see them getting back. And also, I just think, I prefer the Seahawks winning anyway. In years that it's not the Packers, and it hasn't been for a long time, I always pick the team that has I don't want to say worst quarterback, but it's the quarterback I'm not scared is going to start competing with and taking spots away from Jordan Love. For me, it's no one's going to really think you're better than Jordan Love, or no one's going to think your team's like going to be automatically better than the Packers this year. And so I always pick the team that I'm not worried about. And Drake May, if he wins, everyone's going to be like, oh. And now, Drake May and the Patriots, they're back and they're here to stay and they're for real,
So,
that's what that's what I root for.
So what I will say, I'm looking at his contract right now. 3 years, right? $100 million is what he signed with the Seahawks.
Yep.
He is on contract for next year.
Yeah.
But there's an opt-out after next year that either side can take. So I would not be surprised if you get into a position where, he wins Super Bowl, he wins Super Bowl MVP, he's holding out until he gets a deal.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
But also,
he's not going to play on a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
He goes in and tears his ACL. Everyone's going to say, "Oh, well, that team was awesome," and I think you're gonna be put in a position. I would love to see, and it's not going to happen, but it would be so funny to see him get traded to like the Falcons. Or like for Penix and like a first round, Penix and 2 firsts, something like that. and him go and sign that large contract. Of course, they would then be sitting there with a majority of their own cap hit by Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold. But it's going to be interesting to see. So did you say your final score prediction?
I did not. I'm going to say, honestly...
30-29?
No. I don't see this being a high-scoring game necessarily. I could see it being close, but I'm fully predicting because of the defenses. And the Patriots don't have a bad defense. They're certainly competitive. I think that this game might be a little slower than people expect, especially with these teams leaning on the run game they do and the way they do, especially because the Seahawks are going to make it very challenging for Drake May to pass the ball. And I don't think the Patriots are going to be out enough to just get rid of the run game. I could see this being basically a 21-14, like just 21-17 game, straight touchdown lines. Like, if you want to say that the Patriots lose by 4 and they get a couple, I could see that happening. And just because I think that it's just going to be lower scoring, I think. We talked a couple about lines and different odds, and honestly, some of my favorite lines are reception lines right now. You can get Rashid Shaheed 3 receptions at plus 200.
I mean, he only had 1 last game.
I know he did, but I think also just he is in the position where he's going to get targeted more, and I think the Patriots with Gonzalez are going to try to lock down JSN. It could open him up a little bit, and I think Kenneth Walker also. The line at 3 is a little juiced at minus 136. 4 is plus 179. He's been catching all the balls thrown his way. I think the Patriots are going to make it more challenging, especially because they just have a really, really great cornerback in Christian Gonzalez for Sam Darnold to pass in certain areas of the field. Yeah, I love some of those lines. Hell, JSN, if you think he's going to have a monster game and he can get 8 receptions, you can get plus money on that too. But in terms of just final score, I think that it's low scoring. Seahawks win. Let's call it officially 21-17.
Okay, 21-17. I will say one of the funniest lines there is that you can go you can go on their over under on receiving yards.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and find Rashid Shaheed, it's 22.5. That's his receiving yards. But if you go his receptions, at least on DraftKings, is 1.5, which means so if you go under on his receptions but go over on his yards, just think he has 1 catch for 23 yards.
For
it is a plus 1,400 odds. There you go.
I mean, that's pretty good. I think
but
also,
I think he's going to have more than 1 catch.
I think he'll have more than 1 catch. I also think 22.5. I mean, I know he hasn't necessarily cleared the line. What are the odds on 22.5? What is?
It's negative 110.
110? That's not bad. That's not bad just at all. That's a great. That might end up being at the end of the day the most bet. Well, no, the most bet line on the Super Bowl is going to be some kind of touchdown scorer. That's always the public loves those kinds of lines. But that 22.5 at 110, that's not bad. I honestly don't hate that. I did put it all together just now, just to see what would happen if all of my predictions are correct, because the line's 4.5. If you take my under 45.5 Seahawks money line plus 4.5, and you boost it with the little DraftKings boost, plus 910, plus 700 flat. So look, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm not saying you should take my word to bet money. Gamble at your own risk. That 22.5 line, that's good. That's good. Anyway, but I'm gonna keep that in the back pocket for later.
Yeah. Keep it in the back pocket. Keep it in the back pocket. Fantastic. So what I will say, so you both pick Hawks. I got Patriots. I just think it's gonna be a good game again. I don't think there's a villain in this game, so I'm feeling.
I think it's gonna be a good game. I hope it's not like last year was just a terrible Super Bowl, awful Super Bowl. Really, I mean, just as a game objectively, it was so bad. Whether or not you wanted the Patriots to have a three-peat and make history, or the Eagles take down the dynasty, it was just bad football.
It was also just 2 villains going back at it.
And that is very true.
Yep. So, finally, last but not least, our little last section of today. For next season.
How
are you feeling about your Packers?
I'm feeling great, like I always do. I think it's going to be really interesting to see the health of, especially, I think Tucker Kraft, he should be back by week 1, ready to go. Maybe he's, put in just lightly, but when he tore his ACL and got surgery, it just makes sense that he's going to be back and ready for the beginning of the season. I think that really helps a lot. I think, we have a lot of big off-season moves to make. I think we maybe are probably going to get rid of Romeo, if I had to guess. We should really do our best to keep Quay Walker and especially Quay Walker. We need to draft some secondary help or sign a good cornerback because that's a really big problem for us. We might let go of some big pieces like a Rashawn Gary. He just didn't perform super well after Micah Parsons went down, and that's going to be key for us. Is when is Micah Parsons back, fully healthy and ready to go? I don't think that this was a career-ending injury for Micah Parsons. I think medicine and recovery and rehab is so far beyond advanced what it's been. And as someone who's I've torn my own ACL and I've recovered just fine. And I think I did it in 8 months. So especially with the athlete that Micah Parsons is, I think that he is just going to, once he is back, he's at full form. I think he is a generational talent. He's a great pass rusher, and he is going to start. He has the potential to really, if he really does have potential to break the all-times. I know Myles Garrett just did it, but he's someone I could see doing it again, and that is going to be not where the Packers season's like make or break. When is Micah Parsons back? But the earlier he's back, the better I feel. I don't mind him if he's back within the first 4 weeks, I feel great. I really do. Yep. Our schedule's tough. It's one of the toughest in the league. I think it goes Bears, and then there's a team between us and the Packers. We have one of the tougher schedules in the league. But I always feel good. I feel good because we have a good quarterback. I feel good because I like Christian Watson and Jaden Reed, and I think Matthew Golden's going to step into his own. I like Josh Jacobs. I would love to draft a running back too, just to be. Emmanuel Wilson's great. He's shown some flashes. Maybe just get another guy in there to compete, another warm body. I like our O-line. I wouldn't mind also trying to revamp that just a little. But we have a quarterback that I always feel good about. I always feel competitive with, even with the loss in the playoffs again that we've had, and the questions at coach. At the head coach. I know everyone's laughing about the our defensive coordinator signing. I know everyone's like, "Oh my God, like it's going to be so terrible." But I do think that
you got that fire in your gut, man. Fire in your gut.
I just think that it's not bad. I'm not going to say he's Brian Flores 2.0 or anything, but it's just he obviously excelled on the defensive side of the ball, especially when he just got to lock in on that. He was not a good coach. It did not work in Arizona. I think, though, that beyond the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, where he gave up all those yards and touchdowns and whatever, the Eagles had a great defense that year. And I think just we have pieces for him to work with, especially with Micah Parsons. He has so many toys. Xavier McKinney, Quay Walker, Micah Parsons, Adrian Cooper. We have really cool pieces that he is just going to be able to really work with. I think he's going to be very similar to Jeff Hafley in that we'll have a top 10 defense, if not 5. I like it a lot, and we're going to be competitive. And the division got a little tougher, but I'm never counting us out. I think we could easily win, not easily, but it would not shock me if you said we win the Super Bowl next year. And that's where I'm going to put us at,
So for everyone listening, you should roll back 2 episodes ago and go and listen to when the Cowboys were interviewing Jonathan Gannon and the amount of crap that I got from both Freddie and Josh.
I don't think I gave you that much.
I do recall you and Freddie laughing very hard.
We have better players on defense than the Cowboys, so he has a better team to work with. We have way better players. We have way better players.
For now.
All right. How do you feel about the Cowboys? I mean, I'm not saying that, I don't think they're us. I don't think they're the Packers. I don't see them as like the same kind of caliber of team, frankly. I see you as competitive, but I just think we're a tier above you. And so I feel way better about my position than you. You might completely disagree, but I'm curious how you feel.
gonna go one of two ways.
Well, it always does. Come on.
Yep, one of two ways. Yeah, we are not. We don't like to cut the middle. I do think, and I don't think. So I don't think that this team's gonna be as bad defensively as it was this year. I think with those draft picks,
It'll be a challenge.
well, I think with those draft picks, I think they're going to make some free agency moves. Again, Jerry never loves to make free agency moves, so maybe not. But I would not be surprised using those draft picks both on defensive players, getting some corner help, getting some linebacker help, maybe some safety help. Using a lot of those picks to get some key guys.
You're drafting a receiver at 12.
Great. I love it. That's worked out for us in the past. No, I like what I will say.
Oh, you have no seconds or thirds. I mean, you have 2 firsts, but I didn't realize you had no seconds.
Yeah, because we traded for Quinnen.
Yeah.
What I will say, I do think the Cowboys make playoffs next year. If we start slow, Love Shoddy, he's probably out by mid-year. They're going to really, really make a push for like a big name head coach signing. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we make playoffs, and I think we make, for the first time in however many years, 50 years, we make our first conference championship.
No way.
And lose. We're not making the Super Bowl, but
Death, taxes. Mike Evans gets 1,000 yards. I guess not this year, but and then also Cowboys are not making the NFC Championship game.
we're making the NFC Championship this upcoming year, and we will lose. But I do think
You're gonna lose to the Packers. That's crazy. You're gonna hate us even more.
no, I was gonna say we beat the Packers in round 2 to
Nah.
get to.
Dude, put it in Jerry World. Give us a second home game.
No, don't worry. It'll be a road game. It will be a road game. Because I don't think we're going to. Yeah, I think actually no. I could see us winning that division. So maybe it's at home because I don't think y'all win.
I think I had the Cowboys.
You had the Cowboys in
division.
4th.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had you guys losing the division.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm aware. No, I think the Cowboys make their first NFC Championship game, but then lose, and
Are you excited by that?
the ball is rolling uphill. The ball is rolling uphill, man.
Yeah, you like that?
Look.
Hey, I'm so happy you have high.
We take baby steps. We take baby steps, okay? We take small little steps. But the best part about that will be that your draft pick will be the one that is sent to the Jets. Not ours.
But well, you're splitting hairs. What are you? You're talking pick. If you want to say,
It's the point of principle that it's the Packers pick gets traded to the Jets, not ours.
Let's make a bet. Let's find a way. We're gonna find a thing. Whose pick gets sent to the Jets? Because I don't think it's gonna be ours. I think you are worse than us, and so I think it's gonna be your own, and it's gonna be embarrassing, and everyone's gonna be like, "Why would the Cowboys ever agree to these terms?"
I disagree with you.
Might be the first overall pick, man. Might be.
Yeah, I will say
they might get Arch Manning.
That's where I sit there and go that they're not going to like sit around and wait because they can't.
Well, they can't.
Yeah.
I don't think though that's what they're gonna do on purpose. They might do it on accident. Or you know what I mean?
No, we're not pulling a Panthers, man. We're not.
Maybe not, but it feels so. And you're gonna hate me for saying this. It feels so good knowing how badly you wanted Arch Manning on the Cowboys to know that you've traded away the only pick that could have gotten you Arch Manning, possibly.
For now, hey, top two. I will say, 0-17 and 1-16, and you know what? If Arch goes number 2 overall, we'll get him. That's all we need.
That's all you need.
All we need. Packers and
Packers
Cowboys
and
to
the
just
Cowboys
bottom
to
out.
Suck so bad.
Calling it right now.
That'd be
Oh
funny.
gosh. So yeah, I would say that's where we end up. It's gonna be an interesting offseason. I have no clue if Javonte. I hope he comes back, but I have no clue if he comes back. I have no clue. The George Pickens stuff, I imagine we're gonna re-sign him. Jerry's not gonna let
Yeah, I don't
another
think you
guy
let go.
go.
I think you could possibly use one of those first picks. I know it's not necessarily in your nature, but because you have no seconds or thirds, you have a fourth. I think you have 2 fourths actually. Maybe you get a running back. You know, one of those just on pick 20. You get the best running back on the board. You know, maybe you don't even worry about the position and just.
They only do that if
go
it's
for it.
Jeremiah Love. They
Yeah,
only do that if it's
I think
Love.
there's some really exciting running backs in this class. I think people aren't talking about them enough. You don't need receiver help, but you could certainly do with some good running back help. I mean, your clear need is defense, but you got to remember it's Jerry Jones, so I don't think he cares about what you need. He cares about what's exciting.
Yeah, he cares about getting money.
Yeah,
So-
and a fun, explosive offense will make him a lot of money. He might not win a lot of games, but it's going to make him money.
Don't hurt. All in all, I think it's gonna be a step forward. I don't think like that. That's what I'll go and say. I don't think we're gonna take a step back this year. I think we're gonna be a step forward. In 2 years, I have no clue because we won't have. We'll still have a first round pick, but we won't have both of those. We'll really need Williams to step up. We'll need I think our offense is kind of set. I'm
It is
not
what it is.
too worried about the number one offense in the league. My quarterback's not Jordan Love, so I'm feeling
sorry.
good.
Did you just say you're the number one offense in the league?
Yeah.
Is that what, I'm sorry, totally. Just in one ear out the other. I just don't perceive stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
Sorry.
cool.
Am I speaking facts? Am I? Do you not speak facts?
You're speaking German to me right now. I don't get it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that that Germans only spoke facts. Look, one minute. Yeah.
They actually historically don't speak facts.
They
Just to make that
are.
very clear. They really. I picked Germany on purpose.
I know. Well, one minute. Here we go. Okay, sorry, my bad. Number 2.
Oh,
offense
okay.
in the league. That's what it was. We were the number 2.
Number two offense in the
this year.
league.
Yeah. It goes Rams, and then it goes us.
Oh yeah. You played who? You played in the playoffs. Your record was your.
Hey, that doesn't matter. We had the most Pro Bowlers this year.
You had the most. Oh, good job, Brayden.
We had the
Good-
most
Go
Pro
Cowboys.
Bowlers. Yeah,
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys, man. No, hey, we did have the second best offense in the league, and that tells you how bad our defense was.
I mean, your offense is just going to be CeeDee Lamb got injured very early, and I think that there's this big conversation on is George Pickens gonna, especially in fantasy right now, is George Pickens gonna take away from CD in a big way? I think if you're gonna talk fantasy and Cowboys offense, you're going to see a great discount on CeeDee Lamb in terms of price. Maybe you can get a mid-second round. He is still clearly the best receiver
He's
on
the
that
guy.
team. Yeah,
He's
and
the
so
guy.
I think that offensively, your weakest position is just your run game. Just because it's not consistent. That's all it is. It's
Oh my
you have,
gosh!
You have
Oh,
good
sorry, I'm
enough.
looking at your stats.
My
I'm looking
stats.
at your team stats right now. Well, first of all,
my
the Eagles
dynasty?
said- No.
My Packers.
For
Okay, yeah.
Packers. The Eagles had the 9th worst offense in the NFL. That's fine.
That makes sense.
But the Packers, despite gaining a lot of yards, only averaged 23 points a game.
Yeah, we had some weird ones in there. We had
In comparison to my 27.7.
No,
with the Cowboys.
we had some weird ones in there. It circles around, and I made this point episodes ago, and I think you were around for it. It's when this season when we lost a key piece on either side of the ball, we tumbled for 3 to 4 games after that. We lost Tucker Kraft. We tumbled for 3 games. We couldn't find ourselves, and then we finally found ourselves offensively. Christian Watch started to get back, and we were able to figure it out. But we ran our offense through Tucker Kraft for the majority of the first part of the season, and then he was gone. And then Broncos game happens. We lose Micah Parsons. Our defense just unfolds. We can play really well in the first half, and then second half we just crumble because we don't know what to do with ourselves, and that obviously carried us through the playoffs. And so and the rest of that season. So we're gonna get them back, but yeah, we had some weird stretches. We had really great games, but when we lost both of those guys, it was so obvious what happened.
Yeah,
but
if only like someone got hurt like CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys, then maybe they'd be affected by that too. Oh wait, ha!
Yeah, but you guys were affected, and you're still really, really garbage. We were garbage in the way that was like, wow, we really should be competing, and then we were even up in a playoff game and should have made the second round and collapsed, right? And so we collapsed, but we are still competitive, and we are clearly favored over you. You were not competitive and didn't make the playoffs. We're basically the 2022 Eagles. Which Eagles collapsed? We're them. We're whoever collapsed. We're the Eagles team that sucked at the end. So
Cowboys take next year. Anyways,
Cowboys take next year. Cowboys take what? Cowboys take the division.
The playoff championship between us.
No, if we see the Cowboys in the playoffs, I'm basically gonna take the week off. I no need to watch.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt yourself that much. Fantastic.
We can watch it together. We can watch that game together if you want. You want that?
I don't like getting hit in the arm, so I feel like you're gonna be really mad at me the whole time. After
no, I'm gonna be very excited.
Take a 45-3 lead.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's going to be great. All that being said, I'm excited for next year. But before we get to that, I'm excited for the Super Bowl, man.
Hopefully,
any last thoughts before we head out of here?
No, I mean, I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I'm also super excited to see where we go post Super Bowl. You know, we've been run by football almost exclusively, and that's what we mostly talk about. I'm excited to see if we get in what off-season football has to do for us. I'm excited to see. Personally, I'm a huge basketball guy. I love talking about basketball. If you want to incorporate any of that, I'm very excited to see the kinds of things that topics that open up around us as this football season fizzles out. Obviously, we're going to do a post-game analysis on the Super Bowl and where all that's going, I assume. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what we get to talk about.
Did Freddie not tell you? We're doing the cornhole championships.
We're doing cornhole? I don't know. Okay, I gotta do some research. I didn't realize.
We're doing an entire cornhole. Anytime that it's not football, it's cornhole.
Oh, okay. See, because Michigan's number 2 right now in the NCAA rankings, and we're on the precipice of March Madness. I was super excited about that. The Knicks are doing super well. That's my team.
Basketball basketball is just cornhole but elevated, right? It's just
right. Yeah, no, for sure. Let's not talk about basketball at all.
Up.
We're gonna see Giannis go to an amazing team like the Lakers, and let's not cover that.
Did you just call the that's
what
disgusting.
LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, the one of the best trios in the league.
One of the best teams at failing expectations. Hey,
it's okay. So for our listeners that don't know, Brayden's a Mavs fan, and so he's obviously had a very rough time. It was his Nico-versary recently. Actually, we were very excited celebrating that with you. we're gonna have to cut all of this. You look devastated.
Everybody, that's been our episode. Next time you see Josh and Freddie, I will have killed their characters in D&D, and we're gonna have a fun time. Everyone, enjoy the Super Bowl. Have fun. Go hang out with some friends. Eat some good food, and watch the Patriots win. I will say thank you so much for listening. It's been a wonderful season, and we will talk to you next week.